let's go ahead and get started. For those of you who aren't familiar with ACE, so ACE is the Association for Consulting Expertise, and we are a industry professional organization based in Portland. We've got about 40 members at the moment, and we provide programming for continued skill and professional development. We also provide programming for helping us build our networks by doing like a networking roundtables at various establishments around. In fact, our next program will be with the Maine Mentor Network from the Maine Center for Entrepreneurs. We'll be doing a networking event in late September. The date has not been set, nor the location, but I would be thinking about places like Orange Bite Brewing in Portland. And the association just provides avenues for you to help promote your business, but also to build your network and to bring some topics to you for professional development. And so if anyone is interested in that, please let me know and we can set up a coffee call or a coffee meeting and talk about ACE and what's going on at ACE. So at this point, I would like to turn this presentation over to Joe Mindak. Joe has graciously agreed to present to us his what he's doing to monetize his network and a tool or a platform, I guess, called Nolodex. And so, Joe, please take it away.
All right. Thank you very much for having me, Terry. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming to hear what I have to talk about today. Let me share my screen. Oh, can you let me share, Terry?
Should be able to.
Okay. All right. There you go. All right. And let me play this. Okay. Everyone see my screen okay?
Yes.
Hold on one second. Let me just, when I share my screen, I can't see everybody. That's why I don't like to share my whole screen. Let me just move this over. Okay. Now I can still see everyone. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. Let's try it again. All right. So today I'm going to talk to everyone about, just some tips on networking, but really running your communities, right? So are all of you part of a networking group right now, or any of you, you are part of, okay, Kim is, yeah. Anyone else? Francis, George, I can't see you. Um,
Yeah.
Anybody running their own networking group right now?
Mm,
No? Okay. So my presentation is part like what I did to start my own community and how we did it and how we actually really monetize and engage people in the community. So it's a couple tips on if you're in a group, here's some tips your group can do. You can bring back to your group that will help your group grow and retain and get more business for you. And also some networking tips that you guys could do to monetize your own group that you're in already and to get more referrals. So for me, it was just really networking wasn't working, right? Like I've been in networking groups for a long time. It just wasn't working for what I wanted to do, right? So I was a B2B business. I was in networking groups where you go, to the diner local group and I would get a lot of local business, but really wasn't the type of business I was looking for as the type of leads I was looking to get. So I started my own networking group about 5 years ago after I sold my marketing company. And really, what happened was I was starting to still get referrals and people asking me for leads. Hey Joe, I'm looking for someone that does websites. I'm looking for someone that does SEO, and I wasn't in that game anymore. I'd sold the company, but I was like, hey Brandon, well, what type of website are you looking for? Well, I want a WordPress site. Well, you know what? Let me introduce you to Francis. He could do it for you, right? So I was always that connector. And then I started going back to those companies and saying, hey, listen, how about I bring you more business and you pay me? And they were like, yeah, you know what, Joe? I love building websites. I love doing logos. I love that end of the game. I don't really like going out selling. I'm like, well, I do. So how about I bring you business? And they were like, yeah, if you could bring me business, I'll be happy to. So I brought in like $100,000 project to this company. I brought the president of the company, Tom, in, who was a longtime client of mine, and he hired him the next week. And that's how it kind of started. And they paid me 15% of that deal. So they paid me $15,000. So I got a bunch of other people that I knew, and I started to tell them, hey, why don't we all help each other? George and Francis, Kim, Cherry, we're all good networkers. Why don't we all help each other like a networking group does? But everybody pay a referral fee, and we could split that fee up. So that's how our community started. So I'm going to kind of talk through, engagement, monetization, and retention, which are the biggest things when you're in a group, right? How do you engage with more members? How do you get more members into your group? If you're in a group already, how do you engage with the other members of the group? How do you monetize that group, right? You want business for yourself. but you could also make money by referring business to those other people. And then how do you retain those people? There's a lot of churn in these groups. You know, I hear one of the larger groups, one of the larger network groups in the country, they told me 30%, expect 30% of the people to leave every year. 30% of it. So if you have 40 people in your group, you're losing 12 of those people every year. So like, how do you retain people? How do you bring more value to your group? So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. And look, anytime you guys have a question and want to stop me, feel free. I don't want to just present to you, and I want to kind of have a conversation as well as we're doing this. So if you're like, hey Joe, wait a second, talk more about that, right? So I don't know about you guys, but how many groups have you been in over the last 10 years, right? Like I see people move from group to group. This group's not working for me. That group's not working for me. You're interacting with the other groups, or is it the same people, right? A lot of the groups I would join, it would be 40 people, and 6 months later, it would be the same 40 people. So how do you get more interaction between different groups under that same umbrella? Um, and a lot of people are giving referrals, right? I don't know if you got how many of you guys consider yourself like a networker connector, like you're giving the referrals out. Anyone here, right? Kimberly, if anyone else, no. So there's people that are giving the referrals out and not getting that reciprocation, right? So how do you get that reciprocation in other forms of, some people just aren't great at giving referrals back, right? So how do you get that reciprocation back? So and that's really causing a bottleneck, and I'll go into that a little bit. So and then what value you're adding to your group aside from just the meetings, right? A lot of people, like that picture I showed you, is just every week you go to a meeting and you're sitting at the diner, you talk about what you do, you pass some cards around, and then you wait till the next week. What's going on between those meetings? What tools do you have to engage between those meetings, and what do you do for that? So does your group interact with other groups, or is it the same group, right? I spoke to a group out of Florida, right? This guy John, and he's got about 12 chapters of this networking group, right? And he says, yeah, he has Orlando meet, Tampa meets, Fort Lauderdale meets, Miami, all the different places. They all meet, and they all have about 40 members in each group, but none of them talk to each other. Why aren't any of those groups talking to each other, right? So they're just, Orlando's having their meeting at the diner once a week. Tampa's having their meeting, right? All these other people, why aren't they connecting to each other? Right? So all those groups can connect to each other, and then they all, Tampa should be connecting with West Palm, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. They should all be connecting with each other, because what that does is change a group from a 40-person group, right, to 6 chapters. That's 40 members in each chapter. Now you have 280 members, right? Bring them all together, right? Allow those different groups within your community to engage with each other. Because now you're just not talking to that 40-person group every week. You have 280 members to talk to. That just opens up your world of who can refer you, right, Brandon? You're not just those same 40 people you talk to. Like now you have 200 other 40 people that are part of that same network, right? And then if you think about those 280 people, what I tell everyone all the time is you got to really look at it like how many first connections is that, right? So all of you, I'm sure right now on your phones, you have 100 people that you could call, right? You'll have 100 people that you know well enough to make a phone call that person will get back to you today or by tomorrow, right? My buddy Ken just called me. I called him right back. We've been friends since high school, right? You have your high school friends, college friends, business friends, cousins, all that, right? That's 100 first connections. If you have 280 members, that's 28,000 first connections in your group now. 28,000 first connections, 28,000 people that you could ask Francis, hey, it's Kim. I'm looking to talk to CMOs. What CMOs do you know? Oh, Francis has 3 people that he knows very well that he could connect you to. There's 28,000 other people, right? So really making those groups really talk to each other, right? And for me, what I tell groups and communities, and again, some of this is stuff for you guys to go back to your communities with and give them some ideas on how to make your communities better. Have at least one virtual meeting each month, right? You don't have to just do. A lot of people like to meet in person. Look, we all love to shake hands and meet in person. I still love meeting in person too. But we have this virtual world now where we can meet a lot more often through just coming on like we're doing here in Zoom. So why not, if you have a group, have a virtual meeting once a month and bring, like I just showed you all those different chapters in Florida, let them all come together on a call like this. So you guys could all get to breakout rooms with each other. And now George could be in a room with Francis from the Tampa chapter because George is in Miami. And now they go into a breakout room and meet each other, right? Oh, what a great deal. George does websites. Francis does video. Right? You guys never met each other. Now you're in a virtual room. You don't have to go to Miami to do it. Go in a virtual room. Right? For my group, we have 18 different chapters all over the country. Right? These are all our chapters in my group called the Connective. There's 18 different chapters. Our members are allowed to go to any of these meetings every week. All right, they have this link to join. They could go to any meeting they want. So if our member joins the New York chapter, they could go to the Phoenix meeting anytime they want. They could go to Columbus meeting anytime. We want to drive members to engage with each other, right? Why not have all your members talk to each other? So when I started our community, I was like, I don't want to just have New York meet with New York. I want New York to meet Charleston. I want Charleston to meet San Francisco, right? So those virtual meetings are great to do that, right? And even like in coming up in August, when everyone takes off, the last 2 weeks in August, a lot of people take off before school starts again. We just have one big meeting with every person in our chapter, right? And we have 525 businesses in our group. So all 525 people want to come to one meeting to engage those people, right? You want to meet all these other people, and you want that access to those 28,000 people, right? And then on top of that, there should be a platform, right? I have a platform called Nolodex. If you want to see at the end, I'm happy to show it. But our platform engages communities, right? That's what Nolodex does. It brings those communities together. So if you could see on here, this is what our platform looks like. Our members, all 525 members, can go on and look by state. Like here, you can see Albuquerque, Atlanta. They can go on and see who's in those other chapters. So, like I said before, instead of just at those meetings every week or you're meeting, how do you meet the members between those meetings? So, if you're not on a platform already, you should engage on a platform, whether it's our platform, Circle, there's Mighty Networks, all these things. How do you engage with members and find those people between that, right? Again, I said George does websites. I'm not sure what George does, but if you do websites, George, you want to look at people that are in marketing that might not do the things that you do, right? So Francis does video. You could talk to him. Then you could talk to the SEO person. You want to engage with all these people, and the platform will help you find by location, by industry. How do you engage with the other members of your group? So then they can bring you business, right? Again, think about it. Francis and George are both doing something in marketing. They're both talking to the CMO ultimately of whatever client they have. Well, now George's client says, "Hey, do you know anyone who does video?" "Yeah, I got Francis." Francis' client says, "Do you do new? Great, you did this great video for us, Francis. Now we want to build a new website. Who do you have?" "Oh, let me introduce you to George." How do you get everyone talking so they know what each other does? So that's what's great about the platform. Um, and then what other value are you adding to the group, and what kind of tools to engage? Right. So you need not only to just have a community, right? How are you guys engaging? So what I see a lot in groups is they'll say, Kimberly, you just, join a group, right? And you get a meeting with Brandon, right? Brandon said he's a pilot, right? So, and Kimberly, what do you do?
Communications consultant.
Communications, right? So Brandon's a pilot. Do you consider Brandon a great referral giver for you, being a
Uh,
pilot or being in the Air Force and international? Probably not the best referral giver, right? Not in your sphere, right?
Right.
But what happens is we have LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is great. We have all these tools out there. Brandon, like I said, those 100 people that Brandon knows, I'm saying an average of 100 people. Brandon knows maybe a lot more than 100 people. Like, go, and this happens a lot to our people. Like, oh, Brandon can't give me any referrals. He's not in my industry. BS, right? Brandon, do me a favor, pull up your LinkedIn right now. And this happened to me the other day, right? I had a member of our group say, Joe, I'm not getting the media people that I want to talk to, right? He wants to talk to media people. And he was looking to leave our group. He's like, I don't think your group, you're the 525 people you have. Again, our group, 525, that's 52,000 first connections, right? I don't think you have the people we could find, right? You can't find anyone in those 52,000 first connections we have. You can't find somebody to get you an introduction. I go, you're not doing it the right way. So I said to him, I said, listen, pull up my LinkedIn, right? So I'm having a one-on-one. So when you guys have a one-on-one meeting with somebody in your community, and let's say Kim, you get Brandon, you're like, he doesn't know anyone in communications, pull up his LinkedIn, right? So I had this guy pull up my LinkedIn. I said, let me show you my people, right? I have 7,000 connections, right? And a lot of us, look, I have 7,000 connections. Do I know those people? No, I know 700 of them, maybe, right? So we all have all these other connections, but a lot of times we forget who we know, right? I don't know what everyone in my college did. I don't know what everyone that I work with is doing now, right? So I said to the member, I said, who do you talk to? Who do you want to talk to? You're saying we don't have the people to talk to. Tell me who you want. Who is your ICP? Who's your ideal client profile? Hey, I want to talk to media buyers, Joe. Okay, media buyers, great. Here's my LinkedIn. Here's all my connections. Let me hit on the filter on LinkedIn and I type in media buyer. So the first person that pops up is this woman, Julia, who is a senior media buyer at Vayner Media. Does any of you know what Vayner Media is? No? You know Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V? You seen him? Nobody knows Gary Vaynerchuk?
Yeah, I have heard of him. Yes.
He's a pretty like famous, like
Yeah.
social meeting. Like when Twitter came out, this guy took Twitter by storm, and he has one of the largest agencies now in the world. VaynerMedia is the guy's so successful. He's actually looking to buy the Jets. He grew up as a Jet. He's a Jersey guy. He grew up as a Jets fan. He's made so much money from his success with this that he's looking to buy the Jets. So that's what kind of guy I'm talking about. If you look him up, most people see him. He's all over LinkedIn. He's all over everything. Anyway, he's got a huge media buying company. I mean, his clients are United Airlines and whoever, right? So Julia is a senior media buyer. He's like, "Holy cow, you know that person?" I go, "Yeah." I go, "Let me show you where she worked before VaynerMedia." And guess where she worked before VaynerMedia? For me. So I was her first job out of college. I got her first job, right, doing work for us in marketing, which led her to her second job, which was for this big media company. And now she's moved on up to a senior media buyer. Right? I just forgot. I haven't followed Julia's career path since she left me years ago from being an intern, but now she's a senior media buyer. I could reach out to Julia and connect, him to her now. And he was like, "Holy cow!" I'm like, "Yes." So don't tell me. And you guys are the same. If there's someone in your group, you're like, "That guy, they're in finance. They'll never be able to give me somebody, right? That person's in whatever, right? Pull up their LinkedIn. The information's there, right? So that's a great way to do it, right? You have to have some vertical meetings in your groups, right? You have a group, right? You have a community. Bring all, right? Kim, you're in communications. Bring all the other communications. Who else is in marketing? Right? Because that's the low hanging fruit, right? Like I'm talking about George and Francis making it up, but like you want to talk to other marketing people because again, you're all talking to the same people. So we've sectioned out our group into vertical meetings, right? Marketing, HR, and staffing, right? What groups of sphere, we always talk about spheres. What spheres can come together? Have a separate meeting once a month with just those people. Let them start talking to each other, right? We have a woman, Andrew in our group, who was the one that actually said, "Why don't we do these vertical meetings?" She's now sent one of the other women in our group two deals in the last 2 weeks. She closed a $40,000 deal and a $75,000 deal, right? So now Nikki's happy. She got a new deal, and Andrea got paid off of that. And I'll go into the monetization in a second. But have those vertical meetings. Hey, why don't we pull the people in our group that do similar stuff, and let's all get together on that, right? Finance, legal guys all get together. Lawyers and accountants tend to refer each other business. So break out the groups into verticals, right? And then look at other groups. There's a thing called Chance. It's a platform where it's a speed networking, right? It's pretty cool. We use it every Monday for 20 minutes, and you get four. You're on kind of like a Zoom, but it's no video. It's just all audio. It's kind of cool. It's nice sometimes to not have to look at each other, and it's just real quick. So everyone here, if we're on that, right? I'm going to meet Brandon for 5 minutes. Then I'm going to meet Kim for 5 minutes. I'm going to meet Francis for 5 minutes. I'm going to meet George for 5 minutes. So real quick, I get to meet those people. And look, maybe Francis, you're the only one that really, you and I really kind of hit it off. And like, hey, we both do similar stuff. We should continue talking, right? It's just a way to quickly meet some of the other people, right? So these are all tools to start engage your people, right? It's like instead of the same old, come to the diner, talk. Everyone walks around 60 seconds each. Like that 60-second thing. Like you just forget by the time Brandon talks, and then 30 people later, George is finally talking. Like, do you really remember what Brandon did? 15 minutes ago when he explained it? No. So this is just other ways to engage and talk to each other, right? So any questions so far? No? Okay. Um, so are you engaging your members to help grow your business, right?
Now, Kim has a question. I think
Go ahead, Kim. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you're talking a little fast and I missed exactly what vertical meetings are.
Oh, sorry. I'm from Jersey. We talk fast down here, Kim. I'll try. I always try and slow it down, but I think you guys could tell already. I get excited about this stuff. I like talking about it. So vertical meetings are what vertical are you in, right? You're communications, you said, right? So your vertical would really probably be marketing.
Okay.
So you're a communications consultant, right? You probably want to talk to other people that again, maybe there's someone that just does websites. There's someone that does SEO. Oh, what messages are they doing? What communications are they doing? You want to talk to those people because again, most likely, Kim, your clients are probably CMOs or marketing people, marketing managers, and those. So those people are buying printing, right? Those people are buying ads, So you want to talk to the other people that are talking to CMOs that maybe they do videos for that CMO, but they don't do communications. hey,
Gotcha.
we want some. So you want to be in those verticals that really, so HR is a vertical, right? Or HR and what goes around it, payroll and hiring and recruiting and all that stuff. So those people should talk to each other. So that's what the verticals are. Get together with those people that could be that low hanging fruit to refer you, right?
Uh,
Gotcha.
and
Okay.
Joe, I have a question too.
Yeah.
It sounds like from what you're describing that you really have to manage or be the connector for people in these groups, that you're spending a lot of time, and I don't know how much time you actually do spend in sort of cultivating, supporting, keeping people to interact. Yes.
No, I mean at the beginning, yes, but now we've just, this is stuff that we teach our members that come in. This is the way you got to do it. You have to put the time in. And we tell everyone looking to join our group, like if you're not going to put the time in to build relationships, then don't join our group. You have to do, these are things you could do, but you have to put the time in, Francis. Like you have to go on and set up these calls with people. You have to, you have to go on with Brandon and say, hey, let's you and I spend a half an hour together. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I do. You tell me a little bit about what you do, right? Pretty simple, right? Kim's like, I do communications consultant. I get it. Okay. Explain a little more in that. What exactly do you, Kim? All right. Good. Now, do me a favor. Pull up your LinkedIn profile, right? And you guys, I tell everyone if you're in a group, you should be spending at least 2 hours a week putting some time in to build your pipeline with that group. So like maybe it's Fridays, right? Fridays are usually lighter for me. So Fridays from like 10 to 12, put your calendar time in there and block it off. That is because how many of you guys have a sales team?
No.
No, you
Well,
are the sales team, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's mostly most people are running a business, small to medium sized business. They're the head salespeople. Even when I had 30 people working for me, I was still the head of sales, right? Um, so put that time in from 10 to 12. Just block it off. And if a client's like, I want to meet on Friday 10 to 12, no, I'm sorry. This is my pipeline time. Like you don't have to tell them that, but be like, I'm sorry, I have a standing meeting from 10 to 12. And you could think about it. There's 4 people here, Francis, right? Terry, Brandon, George, and Kim, right? They're all part of your group, whatever your community is. Set up 4 meetings with them for half an hour. That's all you need. And do exactly what I said. Hey, Kim, tell me a little bit more about your communications. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're doing copy, you're doing messaging, right? What industries? Oh, hospitality, this, that, get people to spark something from you, right? Oh, you know what? I do have someone for you, right? When you tell them, like, oh, that, be specific. And Kim's like, oh, in the hospitality industry. Oh, you know what? My friend owns a chain of restaurants. I forgot about him. My college buddy owns a chain of 10 restaurants in DC. Was that someone you want to meet? Kim's like, oh my goodness, that's someone I want to meet, right? So you got to tell each other, right? Like I said before, there's 28,000 connections. Tell the person who you're looking to meet to make it easy. And now if Kim doesn't know somebody, that's okay. Kim, do me a favor, pull up your LinkedIn, punch in restaurants, right? I did this with another guy in our group, Rob, the other day. Pull up restaurants. And he pulls up restaurants. One of the women in our group, Marnie, she worked for like 5 of the biggest restaurant chains in her LinkedIn profile. I'm like, oh my goodness, Rob, like this is gold for you, right? Go get Marnie on. So I'm not doing this all the time, but when you guys, this is what I train the people in my group to do. Pull up your LinkedIn. Let's see who, because again, we forget who we know, right? I had Amika who's in our group. He does benefits, right? He does tickets to like the in New York City, so like tickets to the Met or the Gala or whatever, all these different the Mets, Yankee tickets, whatever it is. He does those type of benefits. He wants to talk to group benefit people at companies in the HR department at companies in New York. So I go, okay. So I went on to LinkedIn. I typed in HR, right? I pull up in my connections, HR, and this woman comes up, Jen Rock, that I know, right? Now, I've known Jen Rock for 20 years, right? In that 20 years, her and I never had a conversation about what she did, right? I just, not all the time. I don't always ask people what they do. We're just friends. And my wife and her were friends. Me and her husband were in the dad's group together. Our kids grew up together. Her son is going to Pitt next year. So me and her are texting each other. Like we know each other very well. I just didn't know what she did. But guess
Well,
what?
is she connected to you or you connected to her
We
via
were both,
LinkedIn?
yeah, we were
So,
both connected
yeah,
already on
right,
LinkedIn,
right.
but I didn't know what she did. But Amika told me who he's looking for. So I typed in HR, New York City area, and she came up and she runs 1,000-person company. She's the head of HR. And I said, hey, Jen, listen, here's what and you guys need to have what you do to send to somebody. So this is what you want to do. You want to say, okay, now Jen's, I know that's a good connection. Amika, give me something to send to her. So when you're saying to somebody in your group, hey, do you know that person well? That's number one. Do you know them well? I know Jen very well. I just told you that. Amika, give me what I could send to her. So yes, give me what's your value proposition? What do you want to talk to her? Why would she want to talk to you? Well, this is what we do, right? He gave me a little thing. This is what we do. We help companies in New York City with their benefits to get access to tickets and other benefits and things like that. And I sent that to Jen. Hey, Jen, I wanted you, would you be open to having a call with this person? And she's like, yeah, Joe, that would be great. Actually, we'd be interested in that. And that's when you make the connection, right?
So would that be an example of your referrals where you would get a percentage of the work that
Yeah.
this contact that
Yeah,
wanted to talk to the person you knew?
right. So for us,
Okay.
monetization, which we'll go over in a second, is then the final thing, right? We all want to help each other in our groups, right? Our
Yeah,
culture,
yeah, sure.
we're all here to help each other. But now I have an added incentive, right? So now, again, step one, do I know Jen well? Yes, I know her very well. I can make the introduction. If you don't know the
Mhm.
person well, don't try and make the introduction for something, right? That's not going to work. Nobody wants to respond to you. But I know her well. Then, does she want to talk to Amika? So I send her a note. Here's what he wants to talk about. And again, make it compelling. Oh, I'm the best marketing person in the world. You're stuck to me. Like, no, hey, we get a 40% higher ROI than other agencies because of our proprietary software, whatever it is, right? Oh, okay, that's intriguing, right? For me, when I reach out to people for Nolodex for our software, I say we're changing the way networking is done because we pay members for their referrals as well as give a passive income to communities. That's all I write on LinkedIn when I'm reaching out to people.
That's a real difference from other groups that
Wait,
I've,
you're paying me for
tested
my
out. So
yeah, you're paying me
yeah,
for
yeah,
what are you talking about? I want to know.
very
Kim said
interesting.
she's a good referral giver. I want to know about that, Joe.
Yeah,
Right? And if you're a community owner,
yeah.
wait, what do you mean we make a passive income? Well, come here. Here's my link. You want to know about it. That's it. So what
Yeah,
give a compelling reason. So she gave a compelling, and I sent to Mika, and she's like, yeah, I'd like to talk to him. And then I set Amika up with her, right? Now I'm also have an added incentive to follow up. So I want to follow up with him to make sure that Jen got back to him and that he got back to her. Right? Both, right? Hey, did you got oh Joe, thanks for reminding me. Right? We all forget things, right? Thank you for reminding me to get back to that person. I forgot I was supposed to get back to
Mhm.
because I want that deal to close because I'm going to get a cut of the deal. That's how
Great.
so if Amika gets hired by Jen and let's say he closes a $20,000 project and he agrees to pay 10% commission, he's going to pay $2,000 commission. And then that commission, the platform will split that commission up how the community wants to be split up. I'll show you guys that in a second. But
Great. Well,
basically,
thanks. That's
I'm
helpful.
getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so the last thing I'm talking about engagement is how do you engage and grow your group? How do you grow your group? So what we do you guys pay to be in your groups? You pay like a monthly fee?
Yearly fee.
Yearly fee, monthly fee. So we have an incentive to help us grow the group and we will pay you. So in our group, we charge $100 a month to be a member. And we say, Terry, if you bring in another member, right, you know what our group's about, right? For our group, we're really B2B focused. We have a certain culture we like to have. We're not looking for people that are trying to sell each other, right? We want to sell through each other. We want people that are really looking to help each other. Who do you know that fits that bill, Terry? You're a member now. Who do you know that you could recommend? And then if you recommend that person and they join, you get $100, Terry, right? So incentivize the rest of the people in your group, right? Incentives are a big thing, and money is the best incentive, right? We first started doing this, my partner and I was like, I don't think anyone's going to care about $100, right? But I tell you, once we started doing that, and this is before we actually had a software that we had, uh, anytime Terry brought somebody in, he would be like, Joe, where's my $100? Like pretty quickly. He's like, hey, Kim just joined. When do I get my $100? And it wasn't just one person. It was everybody. I mean, $100 is $100, right? If I gave you $100 right now, you'd be pretty happy. $5, maybe not, but $100 bill, that's pretty cool to get, right? So we pay everyone. We say, hey, you're a part of this group now. Who do you need? Right. And then that can exponentially grow your group, right? So it really creates a network effect. So you guys ever heard of network effects? So
Yeah.
basically what happens is, right, Kim becomes a member, right? Then Kim's like, oh, I'm going to bring two people in because I make $100 each time. So Kim brings two people in. She makes $200. Then those people are like, oh, I'll bring people in. So they make some money off of that. And then it just keeps growing. So all of a sudden you grow your group from one member you just brought into Kim. Kim brings two members in. They bring two members in. They all of a sudden, in 3 months, you have another 20 people in your group, right? But there's an incentive to do that. Because I think people are like, well, why am I going to bring people to Terry's group? And he just gets, I think a lot of groups are like that, right? That you're paying dues and just, well, no, you get an incentive to do that. So right now, we have, I think, 600 prospects for our group. It's a 500-person group, and we have 60 people that are invited that have gone through our vetting process that are now have an invitation to join our group. That's 60 new people that we'll have in the next 2 months. And every member gets $100 every time they bring them in. So it's a nice thing for your communities to be like, hey, maybe this is a good way to grow a group. Now it's just not Terry who runs a group trying to get new members. Well, the members have an incentive to bring other people in, right? And look, the more people you have in your group, the more opportunity for you guys to get introductions to people. So it makes sense for you to help bring people in and all your other members to bring people in because, again, instead of just having a couple people, now you have 40, 50, 100 people in your group. Those are people that can make introductions for you, right? So, all right. So last thing with engagements, you get tired of giving all the referrals and not getting anything in return, right? There's a real bottleneck there, and that's what I've come up with in the last few months of doing this. I finally realized like there's a bottleneck there, and basically what that bottleneck is let's say I'm in a group, right? And Brandon, I give you 4 referrals, right? Hey, Brandon, great. I know what you do now, international affairs, whatever you said before. I got 4 referrals for you, right? Because I'm a good referral giver. I'm good at doing that. I give you 4 referrals and you don't give me any referrals back. Now I'm sitting in a meeting. Brandon's like, thanks, Joe. I landed 2 new clients thanks to Joe. And I'm like, all right, well, where's my referrals? And you just, Brandon, you might not be a referral giver. Like you just don't, you're not good at it. So what happens is, and not because people are mean, but I think just human nature is like, I'm going to kind of stop giving Brandon referrals. He hasn't given me any back. Right. I'm going to move on to George and start sending him referrals for stuff because maybe he'll reciprocate with me. Right. So now Brandon doesn't get any more referrals from me and I'm not getting referrals back. So I decided to leave the group after 6 months because I keep giving referrals out. Like I used to be in a group every month. I would get a plaque at the end of the month that I gave out the most referrals again this month, right? I get this printout, I put in a little cheap Michaels frame, and I'm like, let me put it over here with the other ones that I'm gonna put in the fire on Friday night, right? I wanted reciprocation and deals, and I wasn't getting it, right? So all of a sudden, I leave the group. So I'm one of the best referral groups. I leave to go on to another group, like I was talking about earlier. Like we switch groups because it's going to happen in every group. And now Brandon's stuck because he loved having me because I was giving him good referrals. He was closing business. It just shuts things off, right? It creates that bottleneck. Now, with what we're doing with monetization, Brandon, I give you 4 deals, you close 2 of them. I'm making money on those deals. Let's say you close a deal for $10,000 and you pay a 10% fee. It's $1,000, right? I'm going to make money. I'm going to make a commission off of that. So now I keep that faucet on to Brandon. Hey, Brandon, not only am I sending Brandon referrals, he's good at closing them too. He closed 2 of those deals. I made $2,000 off of Brandon already. I'm going to keep sending him business, right? So it keeps that faucet going, and that's the problem, right? So for us, it's like it's time to shift the networking paradigm, right? We've all been taught in networking, if you give me something, I'll give you back, right? Start by giving, which is great, right? It's a nice philosophy in life, and I still do that, right? I just got one of my best friend's daughter a job at the governor's mansion in Jersey, right? We always want to help each other get stuff, but let's start paying each other because, like I just talked about with me and Brandon, it keeps that faucet going between me and Brandon. I'm fine giving you stuff, Brandon. I don't care if you ever give me a referral back. It's okay because I'm getting paid every time you close a deal. Right? So let's just all agree to start paying each other for referrals. Businesses are doing it, right? Most business starts with the referral. Most businesses, how many of you guys are willing to pay? If I said to you today, Francis, hey, you want to get into Pfizer and you want to talk to the head of IT over there? I know him. I went to college. He's my college roommate. If I get you a meeting with him, will you pay me a commission if you get in there? Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you, right? If you hire you guys would all love to hire salespeople, but who has $60,000 to spend on a salesperson and hope that they work out, right? So for our group, it's $100 a month, and they get 525 salespeople now, right? So all your groups, right? Kimberly, how many people are in your networking group? I can't. You're on mute. Sorry.
Yeah. The networking groups, I'm at 2. I'd say there's 71 and there's 25 in the other.
Yeah. So you have 100 salespeople.
Yeah.
Right. But Are they really salespeople? Because they're like, oh yeah, I'll throw you. Yeah, I'll introduce you. No, I'm going to introduce you. I want to make money. They are incentivized salespeople. They're getting paid to help you get into. It makes a difference, right? Think about it. I'd love to help you, Kimberly. Here, I'll give you to Francis. But now I know I'm going to get paid. I'm going to call Francis. Be like, did you get back to Kimberly yet? Right.
Nice.
So now I'm getting paid. So now, again, we all start agreeing to that. Me and Brandon keep that going. Right. And again, doesn't matter if Brandon ever gives me a referral. I keep sending business. He keeps closing deals. I keep making money. He's making money. We're all happy. Right. So let's agree to start paying each other. Right. And again, it works for great connectors and not so great connectors. Right. My brother, who'll kill me, he still doesn't know I talk about him in these calls. My brother is part of our group. He's been with our group for 5 years. He's one of the first members. I don't think he's ever given a referral to anyone. It's like he's very shy. He does, like, if we have a happy hour in New York City, he doesn't go. He's like, I don't want to talk to people. He's not that guy. He would never do what I'm doing with you guys right now, right? But guess what? He does printing and promotional items, right? You need hats, shirts, golf balls, whatever. He will pay 12.5% commission to anyone that sends him business. And he's got tons of business coming in, right? And everyone's happy to give it to him because they're getting paid. And they're not upset that he's not giving them back. He's just not a good referral giver. And that's okay. Adam, who's in our group, has sent my brother, I don't know, a dozen deals. And he's never given him anything back. That's okay. Because Adam has gotten paid on every one of those deals. So it changes, right? It's okay. You don't have to give me anything back. I'm making money off of you. It's fine, right? And then we also take the awkwardness out of asking for a referral after the deal's closed, right? Our platform, everyone signs an agreement. When you go on, you sign an agreement, say, I will pay a referral. And then when you get a referral sent to you on a platform, you have to accept that referral, right? I've accepted that, yes, George introduced me to Brandon, right? So it's twofold to make sure that that referral is going to be paid. And now everyone's coming on saying, yeah, we are agreeing. And everyone on our platform, you put your percentage. Here's what I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to pay 10% on any deals I get. And that's negotiable, obviously. Like this is what I pretty much pay. But some clients be like, all right, I have a $40,000 budget to do all this work. And then all of a sudden they talk to Terry, he's willing to do it for $35,000, but they really want to go with you. So you're like, all right, well, I can do it for 35, but I'm going to change my fee to 8% on this one and keep my margins, right? But it takes that awkwardness, right? Because I'm sure a lot of you have given deals out, like that deal I told you at the beginning, I gave out for 100 grand. It was kind of like, all right, do I really call these guys? And I'm like, you know what? Let me just call them. Hey guys, you already closed that deal. I already made the introduction. I didn't ask you for anything. Now I'm asking you to pay me. And I didn't ask them to pay me for that deal. I asked them to pay me for deals moving forward. I brought you that $100,000 deal. And they were like, you know what, Joe? We're going to pay you for that deal. Although they already closed and signed the deal, they at a sign of good faith, they were like, we know you can bring us business. We're going to pay you on that deal. But it takes that awkwardness, right? Who wants to go back after you? Oh, Terry, I heard you close that deal. How about you pay me? Like, well, that wasn't talked about, right? So we already have it in there. It's all in the contract to do it, right? So, and again, that simple shift with us is why we have 18 chapters and 500 members, right? We continue to grow, right? I had a group I talked to last week, a guy I've known for a while, and he's looking to use our software. He's like, Joe, I really like your model. I just don't know if I could ask people to pay referral fees. Right. I just don't know if my group would want to do that. Right. It's not the way we were all brought up in networking. Right. We weren't brought up to pay each other. Right. But I said to him, I said, Michael, how long have you been running your group? 10 years? How many people you got? 60 people? All right. I've been doing this for 3 years now. We have 525 people. Like, I'm not telling you it's like, I'm saying it's working because the referral people want to be paid, and the other people are more than willing to pay them because they're getting more business. And like, yes, bring me business, right? So something's working on this end because we get 500 people, over 500 people, and it continues to grow. People like this way to do it, right? So, all right. So for us, we charge dues $100 a month, how we monetize. So we get paid. If you're ever thinking about starting your own group, you start your own group. Our group charges $100 a month. So we bring in money for the dues, right? And then we split our referral fees in our group, right? So when you're thinking about either going back to your group and saying, hey, maybe we should look at paying each other, what we do is we split it, right? So back to the scenario, we said a $10,000 deal, $1,000 commission, right? For this deal Brandon sent to me. I pay $1,000. The system how one of the systems, way our system makes money is we take 10%, right? So we take $100. We paid a credit card fee, which is $40. So we make $60. That's how we make money with our software. There's $900 left in that commission for that deal, right? So Terry, if it's your group ACE, $900, you guys decide how you want to take that $900. What we do is we split it. When I started our group, I'm like, look, we'll all be partners on this, right? Kim, you bring a deal in, we'll split it, right? So $900 comes in. Kim, you get $450 and we keep the other $450. So we're all working together. I'll continue to grow the group, bring great people in so you can refer more business to those people. And you get 50% of a deal that comes in and we take 50%. Okay? And then we actually take that 50%, we split it with the people that run our chapters. So for us, our members make the most money in any deal. And then we take half and we split it with the people running our chapters. So that incentivizes them. So if you have a group or you have a group that has different chapters, you can incentivize the chapter heads to grow their group and bring more business in because they'll get a cut of the deal, right? They get a little incentive, right? And that's our chapter head partners, right? So, all right. So how does this thing split, right? So what happens when you come onto the platform? Let's say you have your community on there, right? ABC networking group, let's call it, right? So member one, right? Let's say it's Brandon, goes on Nolodex. He has a client that wants a web designer, right? He goes on, he finds 3 different members that do web design in the industry that works. So you could search on the search bar to find websites, WordPress, hospitality industry, whatever it is. So Brandon finds 3 web designers on the platform, sends it to the client. His client hires member number 3, right? $50,000 deal. So that member is going to pay a $5,000 commission if they're paying 10%, right? You follow? So that Brandon's client now hires one of the members of the group. They close the deal for 50 grand. They charge a client. They get paid their 50 grand. Now they go onto the platform, pay their $5,000. 10% comes out for Nolodex for the fee, right? So there's $4,500 remaining in that deal. And groups can split it up any way they want. So I have a group, my fraternity is going to split it up where $4,500 split. The member gets $2,250, right? So again, the member gets 50%. The community itself gets $1,125. And then it's split up between the different chapters. So each chapter gets $562. So you could take that money and the system just splits it up however you want to split it up. So some groups pay 80% to the member, they keep 20%. Some groups pay 75% to the member and they split 25% with their people. So the system automatically takes it and splits it up. And we have all run through Stripe to do that. So whatever community is, the person refers it gets paid, right? Member one, the community gets paid and the chapter gets paid. So it could split that money up a couple different ways. And then retention, right? This is a reason to get people to stay, right? So in this scenario that I just went through in a community, now that community in Florida that I talked about that only had, 12 different chapters in all different places, they get 28,000 first connections now to their business, right? They just expanded their network by thousands of people because they're not just doing that, just one person group in different places, right? They give an opportunity to make money giving referrals, right? So if you're giving referrals, you make some money. If you close one deal, you could pay for your stuff for years. We have a member in our group, Paul. He closed a deal. He's been a member since December. He closed a deal. He's making $675 a month off of that deal, right? So for the last 4 months, he's gotten 675. He's made $2,500 already. So he's paid for 2 years of dues already on his thing. And he's brought in 4 new members. So the $100 he's paying a month for dues, he brought 4 new members in. So he got $100 back for each of those new members. So he's already got $400 back for that. So that recruiting new members offsets those dues. That's what I'm talking about. He's recruited 4 new members. He's gotten $400 for bringing those new members in, right? So that really retains people. So Nolodex, that's our platform. Nolodex is your networking Rolodex, right? It's a place for communities to join, make connections, send referrals, close deals, and get paid. Everything system does everything for you, right? So, and basically it's a white label, right? If you have a group right now that wants to use our system, this is Phi Sig, my fraternity. This is what theirs will look like, right? I showed you what ours look like. This is what theirs will look like. It's all white label for the thing. So that's it. So I don't want to. I'll open up to any questions if anyone has questions on it. And hopefully, I tried to slow down a little bit, Kim. Hopefully, I slowed down a little bit. But if you guys have questions, happy to answer questions. Happy to show you the actual platform, whatever you have. So I'll just open up to people.
So if an intact networking group were to join, is there an additional fee for that white label piece that you're talking about, or how does that work?
Yeah, so the fees are so community owners, right? So say Ace wanted to join us, right, Terry? It's $129 a month for the platform. So about
Okay.
1,500 bucks for the year, right? There's $1 million piece of platform that we built. We're giving it away for $129 a month because we make that 10% on the back end. So we literally have a vested interest in communities doing well. So like all the stuff I'm talking about to you today is what we talk about the communities. Like, hey, we have this platform, we have this software. Software tracks it all and you can do all your transactions there. But networking is a relationship thing, right? So you're all building relationships around your community. So we're saying, hey, community owners, we're going to show you all the tools, like some of the stuff that I showed you today, to make sure your communities are doing better, getting more people, retaining people, getting deals, because we'll make that 10% on the back end. So if you guys do well in your community, we do well. So we're like, you know what? How's $129 a month? Make it kind of easy for people. And you get everything. Unlimited members. You can put as many members as you want. You could charge membership through there. If you want to charge your membership through there, you could charge it. Doesn't cost only cost you just a 4% fee. It's got all these tools on here. And then what we charge is $20 per year for the users. So let's say, Terry, you said you had about 40 people in your group. If those people want to come on here, not everyone in your group might want to be paying each other referrals. They don't have to, but if your community's like, hey, we got this new platform we're going to use. If you want to get paid for your referrals or pay the other members to incentivize them to bring you more business, it's $20 once a year is what we charge. So we'll make, if your group all joins, Terry, 40 people, we make $800 off of that. So we get a little bit on our end that covers some of what we do, but we're really all of us, communities, you and us, are looking to try and bring more deals to the table. And that, again, that scenario I just showed you, $1,000, we make 60 bucks, we make a little bit, and then you guys have 900 bucks, but we'll help you show you how to get that 900.
So just for clarity, that I'm thinking about this right. So if I were to come to the Connective and join as a user, it would be $100 a month for me to do that, right?
So that's if you, not to confuse you, Connective is my networking group.
Okay.
But we actually used I built the software because I had no software to run the Connective, right? The Connective was growing, so I'm like, there's no software out there. So I built Nolodex, and now we license Nolodex to other groups. So if you want to use Nolodex for Ace, you'll pay $129 a month as the community owner. You'll get a cut of every deal that goes through your group. Your members will pay 20 bucks a year just to use the software, and then we take 10%. The Connective is my community. The way I set up my community on Nolodex is we charge 100 bucks a month for all our members, and we take 25% of the deals that come through our group. Other groups, again, every group sets up differently. Some groups charge $750 for the year. Some groups charge $50 a month. So anyone that comes on and uses Nolodex, they tell us how they want to set up their community, right? How they want to pay. Do they want to pay their members to bring other members in? How they want to split up that dollar that comes in on commission? How do you want to split that dollar up? 75 cents to the member, 25 cents to your community. So it's all custom, done with how the percentages work out.
Joe, this is really fascinating what you've created here. And it really is a very different way to be thinking about networking. I mean, I think about all the groups that I've been a part of, and in some cases they've been, I won't quite say proprietary, but they say, this is our group. We don't, interact with that one over there because it's, we have our network. But my question is, can you show us your Nolodex? Just give us a quick, 2-minute overview of how it works.
Yeah.
Great.
Sure. Pull this down. So this is the platform, right? So essentially you're going to have, again, you saw the white label with the fraternity. So if you sign your group up, you're going to change this out just like on LinkedIn, put a background, put your logo here. So we have 526 members in our group. We put all our meetings here. So these are all our different group meetings. So anyone could join any meeting anytime they want. And then we have the speed networking. We have office hours. We actually do yoga on Saturdays and network. And then we have our vertical meetings we're talking about. Everyone's birthdays here. Then we have a leaderboard, right? But really, guys, the power of this platform is that between those meetings, how do you get to meet all these 526 people?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So here you could go on by group, right? We have all our different groups on here. So if I want to see who's in the Phoenix chapter, I could do that. But the search is very robust. So you could just type a title in here if you want, but you could go on here and say, hey, Francis, one of your clients is looking for someone in marketing. All right, cool. Well, who are all the marketing people? All right, 162 marketing folks. But they want someone that does, let's say, B2B marketing, right? So they want someone business to business marketing. 37 people. Okay. And they want somebody that's, let's say, a woman-owned business, right? However, whatever resource they're looking for specifically, you could break it down all different ways. So there's 9 people out of the 526 people in our group that are woman-owned business and B2B marketing. And then your client's like, but I really want someone that does, let's say, AI. Okay, let's see. Okay, here, now we broke it down. Now we found a resource, right, in your group. So again, that scenario with all those people all over Florida, how do you find the right person for what your client's looking for as a resource? So now here's Kim, here's her profile. You guys, everyone sets up their profile. I'm sure you guys have directories or stuff you might use on other platforms, but this is her profile. She pays 10% referral fee. Everyone's fee is up top, right? Her ideal client is a B2B business looking to leverage AI to attract, engage, and close ideal clients. This is all the tags. So everyone will tag themselves to all the different things that they do. So it's easy to find somebody for what you do. And if I want to book a meeting with Kim and say, looks like you could do what my client's looking for, I'll book a meeting with her, get to know her a little bit, right? If I haven't met her yet, again, you're not just going to refer somebody blindly, right? It's not a transaction, right? You want to know the person. And you meet with Kim and say, you know what? Yeah, I think you'll be great. I think my client, you will hit it off. Awesome. Then you send a referral to her. You put it in the system, right? Joe Smith, whatever the referral might be, put it all in, all the information in here, and then you hit send, and then it tracks everything. Again, unlike other groups that we've been in before, where it's like you just send a referral and be like, "Good luck, Francis. Hopefully you close that deal." Right? I want this deal to close. I want to go on and look at this. I just introduced Joel to Mark, right? And Joel's a good friend of mine. I actually got him his job, so now he works at this Incenter insurance company. He called me, Joe. We need help with marketing. I need someone. So I sent him a note. Need help with marketing. Sent you the email intro, right? I sent that to Mark. And then I sent him a note, how'd it go with Joel? Primary call went well, followed up with his partner mid-July, scheduled. So now they probably just met mid-July. How did meeting go? Right. So I could send this over to Mark and just create, boom. And now I sent him a note. So now, again, I want to follow up to make sure they're getting back to Mark and want to know what's going on at the meeting because I want this deal to
This
close.
is really interesting. So, if you were talking to somebody and they said, I'm looking for this particular service marketing, let's say, and then you go to this system, Nolodex, look for somebody who has that expertise that maybe and then you connect them. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So I
Okay.
sent Joel and Mark a
Yeah.
note and I talked to Mark. I gave him I know Mark well and said, hey, this is Joel. Yeah, like you do a referral, right? This is Joel.
Yeah.
I've known him for a while. Here's what they're looking for, blah, blah, blah. And I sent them that.
Are
So now
the people that are the people that are in here, do you ever have businesses in here who are looking for services?
no, it's
Or is
usually,
it really just consultants, if you will, use that broad term, consultants?
yeah, well, these are all, I mean, all our businesses are in here. So, like, all 525 businesses that are part of our group are in here. They're usually bringing some people work together in a group, right? It's okay to work together in a group. We more or less tell everyone sell through the group, right? Don't try and sell to these people, sell to the people they know, right? Who do they know? Who does Brandon know that could get me a deal like we talked
Okay.
about before? And then you send the referrals in there. So these are people again that I know that I'm sending
Yeah.
referrals. So
Okay.
Joel Ray McConnell is my best friend since second grade. I introduced him to Max. They closed the deal. Introduced Rick to Karina, $15,000. Chris made 60 grand here. And these are my payouts. So I could see the money I'm making from sending these referrals. So like I said before, we charge $100 a month for our group, the Connective. This deal paid for my dues for the year. This deal paid for my
Yeah.
dues for the year.
This is great.
This deal paid
It's
for my
really
dues for the
interesting.
year, right? So
Yeah.
I'm a
Thanks.
good referral giver, but these guys are also, Adam might not be a good referral giver, but he's sure as hell happy he got a $68,000 deal for his company. So again, everybody wins, guys, right? So
Yeah.
Adam wins because he's good. Scott's happy because I introduced him to somebody that's doing a good job for him, right? And I made $1,500 and the community owner made money off of it too.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Great. This is yeah, it's really you've done an amazing thing here. So
thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. I understand how it
Yeah.
all works now.
Yeah, and these
Great.
are the opportunities that come to you, and everyone controls their payment. So you come in, you're going to add your payment when you get paid. You could change your fee if you negotiate, but then you hit payment, and the system takes care of everything, right? So if I owe this $10,000 payment, $1,000, I just hit add payment. My credit card's already in there. Francis, if you were the one that made the introduction, that money's going right into your account tomorrow. Like we don't even touch the money. System goes through Stripe and takes your 450 and sends it right to your bank account. Right. And again, to
Great.
say, hey, does this really work, guys? Like, it's like, This is a great idea. If you look at, we have 500 people in our group. There's 3,900 deals going on. It's like four deals per person on average. And you're like, oh, that's great. People are just throwing referrals out. No, you look at, let's see what's completed, right? Are these just people sending deals to each other? No, right? These are deals from July 4th, right? Which was what, a week or so ago? These are deals that this is the 25% that our community made is right here, $1,500. Styles, that's 2,500, 3,900 for we made $4,000 for the community owner, which is only 25%. So when you look at this, $1,000 here, right? Nikki's happy she made 45 grand. $1,000, we're 25%. That means it was $2,000. So the chapter head's got $1,000. And then Andrea got $4,000 because she gets 50% of the deal. So she made $4,000. Nikki got a new client for 45 grand. Me as a community owner made money, and our chapter heads both made money between the two chapters. So it's a win-win for everyone, and we're getting deals
Yeah.
complete. This is just 1 week. So
I can tell you're in sales, Joe.
oh yeah. Oh, I try not to be too salesy. Hopefully I'm not coming across salesy. I get
I
excited
think it's
about it.
just who you are.
Yeah, and
No, it's fine. It's fine.
yeah, I show people how it works, and I'm like, it's working, and you can see the numbers here. This is just how the results we're getting. And
Yeah. It's
look,
great.
yeah, it was an idea I had, and I'm like, maybe this will work, and it just continues to
Yeah.
work. I think
Thanks.
people really love it. So
And it's really necessary. I mean, truly, we've all been in groups where it's like, is this a social hour? I'm liking these people, but I'm not getting the business I need. So how does
right.
that work? And I love the incentive. The incentive system is brilliant.
Yeah, and look, it's again about building relationships, so we all help each other. We had a member this week that her daughter's getting surgery, like pretty big surgery, and we all came like, what are we going to do to help? So we went, all our people were like, what can we do to help Alicia? And we did a little something to help her, and we actually connect us like, yeah, we're all here to help each other. We building relationships amongst each other, but then we get down to business. We're also here to get business. So like our meetings will be fun at the beginning of the meeting for the first 5 minutes and talking, and all right, now we got let's how do we connect each other, engage? We all want to get here for business, but we all have we all kind of help each other with other stuff too. So yeah. So I think Terry, I don't know if I probably already when I talk a lot, so I'm sorry if I went over the time allotted, but if
It's all
anyone
right.
has any questions, I'll put my I'll put my email in the chat here for you. If you have any questions after, want to discuss it, you want to bring it in. If you guys have a group that you're in and you're like, you want to invite that group, we have an incentive package, no surprise for you to bring in groups. So any group that comes in, you get 20% of what they licensing fee for the year. So again, that incentive all across the board is helpful. Everyone's incentive. So if a group comes in, you get 20% of that licensing fee. So 1,500 for the year is $300. And depending on how many people come in, right? That $20 per member, you get 20% of. So if 200 people join, it's $4,000. You get $800 in your pocket. So, yeah. Any other questions? I put my. Go ahead, Kim.
Joe, next steps here. I've got your email. I'm thinking of getting you in touch with the Portland Chamber of Commerce. I noticed that is one of the groups that you're targeting. What happens? I tell them a little about what you're doing, get them in touch with you. What?
Yeah, so I could send you, you could shoot me a note and I could send you a little write up to send them, just like I said before. Like, them well, great, that's good. Now here's a little bit about why the chamber, here's what we do for chambers. I'll send you a little note that you could pass along to them with a link to my calendar. And I show demos to everyone. It's hard to explain this thing to
Yeah.
people. Like I had a guy last week, one of the members of our groups, like he has a fraternity brother. I sent him a link to our video and he's like, yeah, I don't think that works for us. And then I'm like, you didn't get it and I had a meeting with him yesterday. He's like, holy cow. He's like, this is what we've been looking for. Right. So I just love to do the demos just because you guys see it. When you see it, it's like, oh, okay, I see how this thing works. So I'll shoot you a little note with the,
My email's chat.
okay, great. Yeah. Yeah. So again, I try and make it easy. And again, just what you guys do when people, you have someone you want to talk to, give them that little snippet to send to somebody. So